Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's your friendly neighborhood PM with your top 3 market points of the week. Now, I know you're all probably very anxious to get on with your weekend. Maybe you got to do some last minute holiday shopping. So let's just say we get right into it, shall we? Kicking us off, point number 3 is TikTok being bought by a group of American companies, primarily led by Oracle. Now, this group of American companies will join into a joint venture with ByteDance, the Chinese owners, to create a new independent entity. This new entity will obviously control data collection, algorithms, content moderation, but it is going to be headed up by an all-American board. Now, the company still has to wait for Chinese regulators to approve, so as we get that information, we'll pass it on to you. At point number 2, it was Micron, the memory chip maker, surging 10% yesterday after reporting their quarterly earnings and raising their outlook going forward. Now, Micron is in a great position right now because there is such a surging demand for their memory chips thanks to the whole AI trend, but also there's a structural supply shortage, so it's helping boost those prices upward. Now, that does tell quite a bit of a different story post-earnings rather than Broadcom and Oracle did the other week, so it kind of does show that maybe there's still some legs to this AI trade that is ongoing. And then finally, point number 1, it was CPI data that we finally got released just yesterday. This was for the month of November and saw solid moderation for core CPI down to 2.6%, down from 3% year over year just in September. Now, you'll probably remember we did not have October data because of the government shutdown, but there are some people that called into question some of the numbers because they registered shelter as having zero inflation in that interim period. Now, that does materially help the overall number come down quite a bit because shelter is such a key component of the inflation numbers. However, we're going to let these kind of digest month over month as we continue to get more data collected. But should this trend continue, this really does go ahead and bolster the Fed's policy decision making to allow them to further cut rates, especially if we see continued weakness in the labor market. Now, that does it for your top 3 points this week. What are we checking out for next week? Well, next week, it's going to be a little bit lighter of a news cycle because we've got the holidays, Christmas Eve and Christmas. So there will be no video next week, but we will keep you posted on one more video prior to year end as we come back the following week. But as always, please go out, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you right after the holidays. Thanks again.